There is a sticker on the laptop sold this year. It says AI PC. Somewhere near it, usually in smaller type, is a number followed by 3 letters, tops, 48 of them on this one. Nobody at the store explains what that number is, and almost nobody asks because it does the job a spec number is supposed to do. It is bigger than last year's. That sticker is a promise about a piece of silicon most owners will never knowingly use. Here is what the 3 big chips claim. Intel's Core Ultra 200V series, 48 tops. AMD's Ryzen AI 300, 50. Qualcomm's Snapdragon X Elite, 45. Microsoft drew a line at 40 to earn the Copilot Plus badge, which is why the numbers all cluster just above it. Look at that spread for a second. 45 to 50. These parts are, by their own headline figure, within about 10% of each other. That is not a generational gap. That is 3 companies clearing the same bar. So what is a TOPS? It counts trillions of operations per second. That is all it counts. It does not say which operations, and that omission is the whole trick. An operation at 4-bit precision and an operation at 16-bit precision both count as one, even though one is dramatically cheaper. It also says nothing about memory bandwidth, and on real models the chip usually spends more time waiting for weights to arrive than doing arithmetic. A TOPS figure is a ceiling measured under perfect conditions. It is closer to a car's red line than to how fast you actually get to work. Your laptop now has 3 processors that can run AI, and they are genuinely different animals. The CPU has a handful of fast cores and will do anything you ask, one thing after another. The GPU has thousands of narrow lanes and eats wide parallel math for breakfast, which is why it trains models and why it drains your battery. The NPU is the specialist, fixed function hardware for neural math at a fraction of the power. It is not the fastest of the 3. It was never supposed to be. It is the one that can run all day without spinning a fan. So let us do what a spec sheet never does and check the claim against the machine. The claim is that every new laptop ships a dedicated engine for on-device AI. The check is simple enough that you can run it yourself in about 10 seconds. Open Task Manager, find the NPU row and then just work normally for a while. Write some email, join a call, browse. What people overwhelmingly report seeing is a line that stays close to flat. The engine is there. Most of the time, nothing is asking it to do anything. 40 tops, that is the bar Microsoft set for a machine to carry the Copilot Plus badge, and the entire industry redesigned its laptop silicon to clear it. Then something awkward happened. Microsoft's own newer AI tooling began prioritizing the GPU and the CPU for inference, because that is where the software ecosystem and the drivers already were. The flaw still stands. The company that drew it started stepping around it. The reason is not conspiracy. It is economics, and it looks like this from a developer's desk. You want to add an AI feature. Option 1, call a cloud API. It works on every machine your users own, including the 5-year-old ones and you ship this week. Option 2, run on CPU or GPU locally. One code path still works everywhere. Option 3, target the NPU. Now you are writing against vendor-specific runtimes. Testing on 3 different silicon families, and the feature only lights up for the minority of customers who bought a new laptop. 2 of those paths ship. Guess which 2? That said, the NPU is not doing nothing. There is a real list, and it is worth knowing because it explains what you actually bought. Camera work is the big one. Background blur, automatic framing, that eye contact correction running continuously through every video call. Live captions and on-device transcription where the audio never leaves your machine. Noise suppression and lighting correction. Notice the pattern. These are operating system features, not the apps you chose. The NPU is mostly working for Windows, quietly, and almost never for the software you actually opened. And here is the part the marketing gets backwards. The NPU's advantage was never speed. A decent laptop GPU will beat it on raw throughput most days. The advantage is efficiency, doing sustained neural work at a small fraction of the power, which is the difference between background blur costing you an hour of battery on a long call and costing you almost nothing. That is a real engineering achievement. It is just very hard to put on a sticker. Because the honest version of the claim is not faster. It is the same thing, quieter and cooler for longer. You do not have to take any of this on trust, which is the best thing about this particular argument. Open Task Manager, go to the Performance tab and look for an NPU entry. If you have one of these machines, it is there. Then work normally for 10 minutes and watch it. On video calls you should see it come alive because that is the case the OS actually wired up. Doing almost anything else, expect a flat line. That flat line is not a fault. It is the honest state of the software today, drawn on your own screen. So what should you actually weigh, if not the number on the sticker? Battery life and thermals first, because those are what a good NPU quietly protects anyway, and you feel them every single day. Then memory and how fast it is, because that is what decides whether you can run a useful local model at all, and it is usually soldered down, so you buy it right once or you live with it. Then the screen and the keyboard, the parts your hands and eyes are on for hours. None of those appear in an AI PC advertisement. All of them will matter more to you in 2 years than 48 versus 50. None of this makes the NPU a scam. The hardware is real, it is genuinely efficient, and the sticker is not lying about what is inside the case. The gap is between the silicon and the software, and gaps like that do close, usually slower than anyone promises. So buy the laptop for the screen, the battery, the keyboard, and the memory. Treat the AI engine as a bonus that may get more useful over the life of the machine. And if you want to know where things really stand, do not read the number on the sticker. Open Task Manager and watch the flat line for yourself.